order to make prison wine, first we have to have the materials to make prison wine. We will need 1 gallon, 100% juice. Can be any juice. I'm doing white grape. You can also do normal grape. You need active yeast, activated yeast. I don't really know. Put some yeast in it, buy some yeast, it'll be good. You also need sugar. So I would just buy a big thing of sugar. It's very cheap. The other less crazy things you need that you'll probably have lying around are a t-shirt and maybe a pair of scissors or a knife. And basically just get all that stuff out. You know, it should be about $4, whatever. And you're also gonna need a glass for this first part. You wanna start off by pouring out some of the juice. Only enough because we're gonna add sugar and you don't want it to overflow. And so the next part is you add the sugar. I did this in a really interesting way. I don't have a funnel and I didn't think to make one out of paper until halfway through this. So yeah, but pro tip, make a funnel. So I'd also, to note, just add like 2 cups of sugar. That should be good for a gallon of juice. Then you add the excess juice that you took off at the top. You add that just to make it, full gallon. And one part that I forgot right here is you're supposed to shake it. And you should shake it for like 5 minutes to get all the sugar into the juice. Because basically the yeast will eat the sugar and turn it into alcohol. But if all the sugar is sitting at the bottom, then it's not going to work very well. But assuming that you did shake it, the next step would be to add tiny little holes. You can do 1 or 2, but make sure they're like fairly small in the cap of the bottle. So after you do this, you can add the yeast finally. And you don't need to shake this. You can just let it sit on top. Then you get your little slice of t-shirt, and it can just be a circle of cloth, cheesecloth. T-shirt works fine. And just put that in between the bottle and the cap and make sure you screw on the cap tight. And now you can just put it in the closet for at least 7 days. 2 weeks will give you like more of a proper wine and it'll let the yeast settle.
What will we do with the drunken sailor? What will we do with the drunken
It's finally been 7 days and you are ready to strain your wine. This is probably the most tedious part of this whole process, at least for me. I started by passing the wine through the t-shirt on the actual bottle into a glass, and then I poured that glass through another t-shirt into a different bottle. So hopefully sifting through it twice. But this process did take me like an hour in total to sift the entire gallon of wine. Alright, gonna be my first time trying the prison wine. Hopefully it's not horrible. It smells like alcohol. And it tastes like alcohol. Some little stuff in there. So I'm not so sure about that, but it's pretty fucking good to me. Oh yeah. Yes, there was stuff in the wine. I didn't quite filter it 100% properly. But I'm confident in my wine. So confident, in fact, that this next monologue has been done entirely while consuming my own wine. Alright, so why is Pruno even important? Well, back in the day, and I mean like ancient day, like Egyptian stuff, basically, the great king or ruler, or whatever the person, he was like, build a pyramid. It's going to be fucking sick. And then the people are like, guy, you're fucked. Like, if you think we're building that fucking pyramid without any, like, money and stuff, like, get out of here. So king was like, nah, bro, like, I'm going to hook you up with this new stuff. It's called mead. Yeah. And, like, the people were like, all right, I'll do it. But only one day of building, If this stuff isn't good, I'm out. And basically, long story short, the mead was so good that they really just built the pyramids.